Mr. District Attorney. Champion of the people, defender of truth, guardian of our fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And it shall be my duty as district attorney not only to prosecute to the limit of the law all persons accused of crimes perpetrated within this county, but to defend with equal vigor the right and privileges of all its citizens.
So, Mr. Garrett, we thought we were entitled to come right to the district attorney himself to voice our complaint.
Well, I understand the police have already taken measures.
But have they done enough? We feel we've got a regular crime wave on the west side. Pilfering, theft, purse snatching. Within 10 blocks of Poplar and 3rd, we've had 50 crimes in the last month.
We're working on it. We now have a radio car per square mile on the west side.
That didn't stop somebody from stealing the hubcaps off of Bert Banning's car last night. They're pretty expensive, Lieutenant.
If they were 4 for a nickel, we'd be just as anxious to protect them.
Which brings us to why we really asked the lieutenant to bring us to you, Mr. Garrett.
Well, we're always willing to help.
Mr. Wade and I are talking for quite a few people on the west side. And we've been sort of wondering about your general attitude toward teenage criminals.
The type of crime on the west side doesn't look like teenage activity to us.
Whatever it is, sir, your general policy towards them seems to be too easy.
Gentlemen, our policy is to follow the law. We don't make it.
Still, your office can be easy or tough.
Well, let's say we try to be fair.
On the west side, we think you're being too soft.
We say put the law to them. Warnings don't do any good.
The system is pretty well established, gentlemen.
Then the system is wrong.
I don't think so. Gentlemen, perhaps we're off to a bad start in solving our problem.
All we want to know, Mr. Garrett, is what's going to be done about it?
All that possibly can be done, gentlemen. You'll excuse me if I seem to disagree with you. But if you were in my shoes, I think you'd see that the answer isn't as simple as just being tough.
Mr. Garrett, if we don't get any action, we're going to have to take some.
Well, Paul, the man wants action.
Well, we've done everything we can.
And then some. Talk about an ounce of prevention. We've been shoveling it in by the pound. And maybe we could get some more cars assigned to the west side. Do you have any ideas? Paul.
Oh, no, I think that's the only thing we can do.
Well, what's the matter?
Wade and Larkin, they bother me. Their attitude.
Huh? So they blew off a little steam. So what?
Well, I don't mind that. I didn't like what they said about taking action themselves. I wonder if either Wade or Larkin have gun permits.
Well, out in the hall, Larkin did make inquiry about the procedure for getting a permit. He didn't press it, though.
Well, that's just what I mean. They're toying with the idea of policing the neighborhood themselves.
Oh, the department isn't going to issue gun permits for that.
Nevertheless, I'm going to be making more speeches on the west side. We have to start somewhere.
And I'll do what I can.
Oh, Patty, if anything breaks in that neighborhood, let me know immediately.
Right, Paul.
When citizens become enraged and stop thinking, it usually means trouble. A situation like this can explode.
Hello, Mr. Larkin. Nice day. Really wonderful and so quiet. I just love this time of day, don't you, Mr. Larkin? Be seeing you. Don't break any of those bottles. You're stepping on my flowers.
Mrs. Moore! Mrs. Moore, look at your car window. Looks like it's been broken into. Did you see which way that kid went?
Why, no.
Hey, you, come here. You tried to break into that car, didn't you? You broke the window.
I didn't do it.
Oh, no? Stop squirming or I'll break your arm.
I didn't break the window.
Come on, I know where to take you.
Harry! Harry, wake up! The car's been broken into! Harry! It must be that boy at the trash barrel! Harry! Hey there! Hey there! Hey! Hey there! See what that boy did to my car!
The same neighborhood, eh? Poplar Avenue. Well, thanks, Patty. I'll be right down.
just setting out the trash cans, and my
Mrs.
husband
Moore.
was taking a nap. He still is sleeping, poor dear. He works too hard.
If you'll just tell me what you know about the car.
But I'm getting to that.
Oh, hello, Paul. You get anything? Oh, Mrs. Moore here saw the suspect. This is Mr. Garrett, the district attorney.
Pleased to meet you. I was just telling him that...
Mrs. Moore, will you pardon us just a moment? Fill me in, Penny.
Well, the best lead we have is some fresh footprints.
I wish those were fingerprints, Pete.
Oh, hello, Paul. What'd you say?
I said I wish those were fingerprints.
Oh, I might be able to get them for you, too. I'm gonna work on that next.
Looks like about a size 8 sneakers.
Yeah, look at that. Tear in the heel.
Yeah. Well, that'll help. When we find him.
We've got a good chance. Mrs. Moore said she flagged the radio car less than a minute after it happened.
Oh, yes, Mr. Garrett, I was just telling him. I just finished setting out the trash cans. I couldn't have been in the house more than a minute.
Mrs.
When I came
Moore,
out of the porch...
In a house coat, Mrs. Moore?
I didn't realize.
Mrs. Moore, wouldn't you be more comfortable inside? We'll come in a few minutes.
We're searching the area.
How many cars have you got?
6. They'll pick up anyone answering the description who can't account for himself.
Well, I'll go in and see what Mrs. Moore...
I'll be right in. F10 to Control 1.
Control 1 to 3F10, go ahead.
In addition to previous broadcast on Poplar Avenue incident, suspect is wearing sneakers with 1-inch tear in heel of left sneaker.
We'll phone the newspaper first and turn this punk over to the police so the reporters can be here to watch it.
It's a brainstorm.
Just what the police need. Something to make them look silly.
But you're making a mistake.
Shut up. I'll watch him while you go phone the papers.
Wait a minute. Why don't we do it upright? We'll have a whole confession waiting for them.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything. If you only let me...
Shut up. What's your name?
Bob Cole.
Where do you live?
Not far, about 7 or 8 blocks. I was just going over to
Just
my...
answer the question.
That's right, Al. Do it like a real... What do you call it?
Interrogation. Okay, then. What's your address?
What right have you got, Desperate?
I've got the right because you're a young, no-good punk.
Let me go!
And you better answer me because you're going to have to answer to the cops.
All right, kid, now start talking.
Honestly, Mr. Garrett, I just didn't get a good look at him.
And your husband?
Oh, he was sleeping, still is. Sometimes Harry will come home from work at 4, go to sleep and sleep all the way through. No, there was only one, I'm just sure of it.
But you're sure he wore jeans?
Oh, positive.
And a sports shirt?
Positive,
And it was
because-
blue?
Positive. Did I say blue?
That's what you said, Mrs. Moore.
Funny, now that I think about it, it could have been green. But you know how it is with blue and green. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between them. I remember a dress I had once with a sort of a...
Mrs. Moore, the shoes. Please try and remember.
Shoes.
That's on the boy you saw.
Oh, I really didn't notice. You see, I never noticed shoes. I guess I'm just not shoe conscious.
But you're absolutely certain there was only one of them. Just one boy. Positive.
Well, if you put it that way, I couldn't swear I only saw one. After all, it all happened so fast.
And your husband didn't come to the door, you're sure?
Oh, not unless he walks in his sleep. I know my Harry, and nothing will get him up till the sun tomorrow morning.
Yes, Mrs. Moore.
But if you want to check on how many boys there were, why don't you ask Mr. Larkin?
Mr. Larkin?
Al Larkin.
Yes, he just lives next door.
That's right, Paul.
Well, why should we check with Mr. Larkin?
Well, he was out in front of his house just about the time I was. He went out to look for the boy.
Well, let's talk to Larkin. Thank you, Mrs. Moore. We'll be back.
Oh, Mr. Garrett.
Yes?
Something important I almost forgot to tell you. The fender pants on Mr. Larkin's car, they were stolen about 3 weeks ago.
We'll do what we can, Mrs. Moore.
How can her husband stand it?
He gets lots of sleep.
That's enough on him, Al. Let's get the dope in his pals.
What pal? Shut up.
Let's have their names.
Start talking.
What names? I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, then, who do you travel with?
What do you mean?
On expeditions like this one.
I was just going to my cousin's, I told you.
So you thought you'd stop off and break into a car, huh?
I didn't.
And you weren't around here last evening either?
No.
Around the corner from the church?
No.
Who stole those hubcaps? Which one of your gang?
I don't know.
So you do have a gang.
No.
You said you didn't know which one did it.
I meant, I don't know who did it.
But you knew they were stolen, didn't you?
No.
She said she saw Larkin not more than a half hour ago.
Yeah. I wonder where he is.
If she'd only told us right away.
Control 1 to 3F10.
That may be a break.
Ask him about some of those other thefts around here.
That's the ticket. We'll call Bert Banning and the rest of them. We'll call everybody who had something stolen. We'll stage a regular lineup. And Bert says he might be able to identify the kid who stole his hubcaps. Oh, no, you don't. You're hurting me. Now, let's take him in the house.
The garage is better. I got a phone in there, too.
What are you doing to me? Let me go. My arm!
Stop yelling or I'll give you something to yell about. I'll bet we'll pin a half a dozen of these crimes on this monkey.
Stand still. You're not going anywhere.
Hello, Bert. Ben Wade. Got some news on these burglaries.
So the cops finally did something, huh?
Cops, nothing. Hal Larkin caught him. We got him in my garage now.
Maybe I'll recognize him. Though it was kind of dark. I'll be right over.
Bert, call Harry Moore and a couple of the other fellows who've lost up. I'll do the same from here. We'll identify this kid good and proper. Hurry. I'll bet we'll pin him on you all right. Once and for all.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. What if my dad hears about this?
Hello, Ken? Bert Banning. Yeah. Listen, run over to Wade's garage right away. They got the kid that's been doing all the robberies. Yeah, I'll see you there. Hello, Jack. Bert. She's all right, yeah. Listen, come over to Wade's garage right away. Yeah, the kid is there that's been doing all the robberies. I'll be right over.
1 to 3F10. Control 1 to 3F10. Come in.
3F10 to Control 1. Go ahead.
3F4 has Poplar Avenue suspect in custody at drugstore, corner Elm and Lake Drive.
3F10 to Control 1. Have that unit stand by. We'll meet it there. Well, this is it. I hope. To make Larkin and Wade happy.
Oh, Mr. Garrett, congratulations
On what?
on catching the boy.
How did she know that? She couldn't have heard the broadcast up there.
I don't get it. Well, come on, Paul. Let's go.
No, hold it, Patty. This doesn't add up.
Why, you certainly do work fast.
Did you just hear it over the radio?
Radio? I got the news on the telephone.
For when?
Right after you went over to Mr. Larkin's.
Well, that was quite some time ago.
What of it?
Well, who phoned you?
Bert Banning, a neighbor.
Go ahead, Patty. Come back for me. Did this Banning say who told him?
No, only that they'd caught the boy that had broken into our car. He wanted to tell Harry, but Harry's still sleeping.
Well, did he say who caught the boy?
Well, the police, I suppose. Who else?
Well, may I use your phone?
Sure. Is there something wrong, Mr. Garrett?
Well, only that Bert Banning told you a boy was caught before we caught him.
Oh, but that's impossible.
Yeah, it certainly is. Do you know Mr. Banning's phone number?
Oh, he just lives next door to Mr. Larkin.
Well, thank you. I'd like to talk to Mr. Banning, or at least locate Larkin.
Alice, tell Harry I want to see him.
Oh, Mr. Garrett, this is Mr. Banning. Bert, this is Mr. Garrett, the district attorney.
Well, Mr. Banning, I was just coming over to see you.
See me? What for?
About your phone call to Mrs. Moore.
Didn't call her, called Harry. Where is he, Alice?
Oh, you'll never get him up, Bert.
Sleeping, huh? Well, let him. I'll be on my way.
Mr. Banning, I'd appreciate it if you could spare me a few minutes.
Got things to do, Mr. Garrett.
It'll only take a minute. You called Mrs. Moore a little while ago, didn't you?
That's right.
Did you tell her a boy had been caught?
Didn't say anything about a boy.
Did you or did you not say that a boy had been caught?
Ought to be caught, I said, and I'll say it again. Listen, Alice Moore, if you do less talking and more listening, you'll be better off. Anything else?
No, I guess that's all.
I'll be gone.
No, I want you to take your time and think. I want you to tell me exactly what the phone conversation was between you and Mr. Banning. What you said to him and what he said to you.
Well, I didn't do it. 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 It must have been somebody else, not me.
If there's one thing I hate worse than a thief, it's a liar. A liar who hasn't got the guts to own up when he's caught. Read him the paper again.
I, Robert Cole, 133 North Hillside Street, admit and confess that I am the one who broke into Harry Moore's car on Poplar Avenue.
I won't sign.
Hiya, Bert.
Hi.
Get old Harry Moore?
Nah, he's sleeping. But the district attorney is over there, and I think he's on to us.
The district attorney?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impossible. He couldn't know.
Is this the one?
Yeah, we're giving him a written confession to sign.
That's the way to do it. Get it in writing.
I want to go home.
So you're the one who stole my hubcaps, huh?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
But honest, Mrs. Banning, it's important. You can at least tell me. She won't say anything.
Let me try. Mrs. Banning, this is Paul Garrett, the district attorney. Your husband may be in serious trouble. A few simple answers may help him. All right. Did your husband call Mrs. Moore this afternoon? Mm-hmm. Did he tell her that a boy had been caught? He did.
See?
Mrs. Banning, do you know where I can find your husband right now? Well, thank you.
I was right, wasn't I?
You certainly were, and I think Mr. Banning is in trouble already. Do you know Ben Wade's phone number?
Yes.
I'm not going to sign anything. I didn't do it. I'm not going to sign it.
So you're one of these hard guys. Okay, you asked for it. Now, Ben.
You can't make me.
We'll see about that. Get him on the bench.
Let me go.
Get him over. You gonna sign this?
No.
You'll sign.
Let me go.
Hold him still.
Help, help.
Shut up. Get a gag or something.
Can't you stop that phone from ringing?
Doesn't add up. Larkin's not home. Bert Banning's lies. No answer at Wade's when Banning should be there. He's got to be there. Well, there's no answer. Does Ben Wade live very far from here?
No, just down the alley, Pine Street.
Oh, that's Lieutenant Pat Wade. Thank you very much for your help, Mrs. Moore.
Oh, coming.
On the nose. Fits the suspect's sneaker exactly. Heel tear and all. Only the kid wasn't a kid. He has a record. He talked as soon as he saw a uniform. As a matter of fact, he's a member of an organized ring. Robbery's rounding them up now. Looks like this cleans up the whole West Side problem. Oh, the suspect said he saw a boy in the alley. Boy didn't see him, though. Had nothing to do with it.
Boy. My guess is. Let's get going, Patty. Ben Wade's house, Pine Street, the other end of the alley.
All right.
You gonna sign it now?
No, I didn't do anything. Honest, I didn't.
You got a rope under the bench.
I'm not going to sign something I didn't do. I don't care how much you beat me.
Get him!
Help me.
What's going on?
They were holding me in your garage down there. They were going to beat me.
We're just getting a confession from him. Holding him. He's the man you're looking for.
Is he? Well, it happens that he isn't. But if he were, your crime would still be greater than his. Whoever gave you the right to take the law into your own hands? If everybody obeyed an impulse like this, no one would be safe.
But I caught him in the alley.
While you big, brave, so-called adults were holding this boy, the police were catching the real criminal. We have a cast of the criminal's footprints. Legal evidence secured in a legal manner.
I'll take these men in, Paul.
I'll sign a complaint against them in the morning. Come on, son. I'll take you home.